Max, you're currently working on your university PhD, and you've made quite a startling discovery in that there's a huge nationwide disparity in the number of deaths reported to coroners, which means that in some areas inquests into unnatural deaths are not being conducted at all. They're not deemed necessary. And more than that, you found that the deaths of women are less likely to be reported than men. Why do you think that is?
Well, here at the University of Huddersfield, we're the first people really to write about this. I think it's been suspected for some time, but we established a disparity in reporting rates to the coroner throughout the country. There's 114 coroners' jurisdictions, of between 1 in 10 in some areas to as many as 9 in 10 of all registered deaths being reported to the coroner in other areas. So an incredible kind of disparity around that. And the average number of deaths reported comes to just under half really throughout the country. So we found this huge disparity, and we have to ask ourselves, well, why would that be? Why would there be such a disparity across the country? The answer is there's a set of local coroners' jurisdictions. Now the issue is that coroners set their own local tone for reporting deaths. So although there's some general guidelines, it tends to be coroners themselves in local areas who decide what they want reporting to them. And so what we're saying here at the university in this published paper is that actually that results in the promulgation of a number of different sets of rules throughout the country. And do we really want that? Well, you would ask yourself, it depends on the value you place on consistency. Nobody wants a particularly robotic set of rules that we have to abide by, but surely if the difference is as many as perhaps 1 in 10 through to 9 in 10, we've probably got a concern there. So that was the first thing, looking at reporting rates, and we assert that they're set by the local coroners, by the tone they set. But the second thing, as you rightly say, was the disparity between reports of male deaths and reports of female deaths. And we found indeed that men were 26% more likely to be reported to the coroner than women. And as we go through the process, once the coroner's received reports, he is half as likely to take a woman's death to inquest as he is a man's death to inquest. So you have this kind of process of attrition throughout the whole process that the coroner works on. We found this incredible because as you asked me, why would that be? Why do we think that is? Well, the most concerning hypothesis would be that in this country, in England and Wales, that was our area we examined, we don't investigate deaths of men as seriously or as strongly as we investigate deaths of women. So that's the main concern. Is that possible? Well, it is possible because the coroner is an 800 years old jurisdiction, English and Welsh jurisdiction, if you like. And not a lot's changed particularly in that time. We've always had these various types of verdicts. We've had the development in more recent times of the short form verdict. So that's things like industrial disease, suicide, the open verdict, for example. And there tends to be about half a dozen of those that coroners use. It's possible that they've developed to serve the needs of men better than to serve the needs of women. Just possible. And that would require further research really to be absolutely sure about that. What we do know is that men are overrepresented in verdicts such as industrial disease and suicide. Women are slightly more represented in things like narrative verdicts and accidents. So, a question we need to pursue, and I hope we will pursue here at the University of Huddersfield, is are deaths of men seen as more important in society than deaths of women?
Just with the general disparity that some deaths are reported, some deaths aren't, you talk 800 years, goodness me. Yeah. What can we do in this year, if you like? What could we do now to improve all that? What should be set up? Because obviously you'd need something nationally, wouldn't you?
Well, here I am approaching the end of my third year of the research that I've conducted, and there's been so many changes already in the last 2.5 years, which has been great for the research obviously I've been doing. One of those major changes is the appointment of a chief coroner in this country for England and Wales. Now, the Chief Coroner does have some oversight responsibility, but he has no actual sort of line management function with the coroners. So although we have a Chief Coroner appointed in an effort to bring consensual consistency amongst the work of the 114 jurisdictions, it's not a national coroner's service. And I think in England and Wales we would benefit from a national coroner's service, because I'm pretty confident that my research is going to go on to indicate great disparity in verdict choice amongst coroners. So depending on the coroner's particular idiosyncrasies, he or she will choose a particular verdict when another coroner may choose a completely different verdict according to the same circumstances. I do want to say, however, that I do believe coroners to be ethical, genuine investigators. My experience of working with coroners and all the work we do does not suggest that we should abandon the coroner's independence and ability to give a verdict in court. So I wouldn't want to be seen as criticising coroners for that reason. However, this disparity cannot surely be right.
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.